Ryan Garcia, I know you guys heard the news. Suspended for 1 year, Chris. And that fight turns into a no contest, meaning Devin Haney is still, quote unquote, undefeated. I'm going to go ahead and read exactly what the suspension was about, the fines, all that stuff. But let's get your initial thoughts on this, Chris.
Yeah, no, first of all, it's been a roller coaster, man. Roller coaster for the Ryan Garcia, PED saga, Devin Haney. Like it's been nuts, bro. I think everybody can say and can agree that man, these guys are both losers after this one. Devin Haney already had so much, hate going towards him, and with him, not accepting defeat, saying he's undefeated on social media. I think he's just been losing the few fans he had left. But yeah, man, big news. Ryan Garcia suspended 1 whole year. It's crazy, man. Again, it's been a crazy roller coaster of a ride.
All right, and here we go. Let's go ahead and read exactly what happens now. Ryan Garcia suspended 1 year following his positive tests. That majority decision victory over Devin Haney. Was it a majority? Who was that? Who was that crazy judge? I think someone had it a draw or something. No, I forget, but crazy judging there.
Yeah, no. Again, it's
Oh, I thought you had something to say. Anyway, we'll continue. All right. So, Garcia also forfeits his purse. The purse was 1.2 million that supposedly was guaranteed, and also you have to pay a $10,000 fine. So Garcia, 24 wins, one loss, of course, to Tank Davis, and one no contest, which is this one. Uh, Devin Haney is now 31 and 0 with that one contest, Chris. Will we ever forget about that one NC there? Will we ever forget about it? Do you think people will consider Devin Haney undefeated? I don't know, man. Devin's been moving a little weird. Devin and Bill, ever since that loss happened. Before the loss, there was some alleged shady stuff supposedly that went on in Mexico back in the day, and with this whole stuff with Snack involved and Vada and Haney saying he's going to even pursue further legal action. Um, yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Devin Haney undefeated now, and he's saying he's going to retire for a couple years.
on paper he's undefeated. Of course, they overturned it with the no contest, and on paper he is. But no, nobody can forget what happened. Mainly because we didn't imagine it happening in the first place. That circus was so topsy turvy that most people thought that Devin Haney was gonna box Ryan Garcia to an easy decision. Not the case. He got dropped multiple times. It was an exciting fight. Thanks to Ryan, for making it exciting. But yeah, no one's gonna forget that beat down. You cannot take it away from the fans' minds. Devin Haney should have just say, hey, uh, I may be undefeated on paper, but I took that beating and I'm going to bounce back. And that's something that the fans would have respected, but not the case, man. He's taking the little crazy road and saying he's undefeated. And yeah, that doesn't sit well with the fans.
Big Bro checking in. He says should have been 2 years at least. Haney looking like a clown as well. So, Chris, in this whole thing, there's been a lot that's been going on. I don't know what's real, what's not. Hopefully, one day we get the truth. But there were some people tweeting that were saying that the New York State Athletic Commission initially didn't find anything rare, anything positive in the initial exams, and then they went back to it or something. Like there's been so much that's been said. But what we know now is that Ryan Garcia is being suspended. He's been fined. He has to forfeit that 1.2 million that was supposedly guaranteed by Golden Boy slash the Zone. Like I said, hopefully one day we know what exactly went down. At this moment, I guess you have to say Ryan Garcia is guilty. Um, but as people were saying in the comments, you know, we're never gonna forget that beating. Devin Haney took a beating. Um, I think it's been a circus, and that's probably an understatement. It's been a circus, since February, March, Chris.
Yeah.
fight happened in April, and for the past few months, still, from both guys saying they hadn't been paid to, Golden Boy and other people from the zone saying, man, these guys don't know how it works. Like, it takes time, pay-per-views, this and that. To now this whole fiasco. We'll see what happens. It seems like we won't see Ryan at least for a year, and probably Devin Haney at least for a year or two as well.
Yeah, like you said it, Gio. This has been a masterclass in fake news, fast news, credible news, non-credible news. You don't know who's the most credible and who isn't. Again, they both sides have tried to spin the news cycle whichever way to favor them, but like you said, it seems like we will never know. And if we get some kind of facts, it's always going to be with an asterisk. We don't know if it's credible at the end. There's that Victor Conte. There's so much corruption in boxing that it's hard for the fans to fully believe it. But like you said, 1 year suspension. Ryan Garcia accepted it, so there has to be a little bit of culpability there for Ryan Garcia if he fully accepted it instead of trying to fight it. He's got money to get lawyers, so if he really is you know not guilty, you would think he would try to fight it. But like you said, 1 year for Ryan Garcia, 1 year of action. Sometimes a year out of the ring deal is good for boxers. It lets them kind of clear their head. It's definitely good news for Devin Haney. I'll tell you that, Gio, because if you take a beating like that, you need some time away from the sport until you fully come back somewhat well. But yeah, but sad news in a sense for Ryan Garcia. I've always said he's good for boxing, entertaining, a little off the rails the last couple of months, but he's always been an action-packed fighter.
Yeah, and we saw him recently. He was trying to some stand-up comedy. I think he was over here at the Hustler Casino, here in the LA area, Gardena, with Jimmy Butler, basketball player, Neymar, football star, at a poker tournament. So he's out there. He's still in the limelight, in front of the cameras. People are always going to talk about him, and I mean, a year. Hopefully, he just stays out of trouble. We know he got arrested recently. They let him out. But yeah, we won't see Ryan Garcia for at least a year. And like I said, hopefully we get more details on everything that happened. As of now, this is what we know. He got caught with some banned substances. So that fight turns into a no contest now. As Chris was speaking, I couldn't help myself. I had to click on this article saying, not to change the topics, but Alexander Usyk vacating that IBF belt ahead of Joshua Dubois bout. So they're saying that title will now be on the line in that fight, between Joshua and Dubois, which I didn't even know they were fighting. It says September 25 at London's Wembley Stadium. So uh, I would think Joshua's favored in this, and he might be a champion again. So, yeah, IBF kind of weird, huh? They always have weird stipulations and stuff and demands. So I don't know. I just thought I had to click on that article. I don't know if you want to give us your live thoughts.
Yeah, for me, it's just again, it's the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia it builds a narrative for a future fight. And it's much bigger than what it was the first time around. You obviously all this extra publicity, down the line it could be a blessing in disguise for the pay-per-view numbers, which we have said Devin Haney struggles with. But as of right now, standing with the fans, the people that pay to see you fight, it's a bad move for Devin Haney. As for Ryan, hey, a year flies back by fast. Like you said, Gio, only the outside distractions could derail him, in my opinion. Because yeah, his stock rose from that big win, but now it's a bit tainted.
I thought Chris was gonna give us his live reaction to Usyk. I know he's a Usyk fan, but I guess not. We'll stick to Ryan, Chris. We'll stick to Ryan. Once again, yeah, go ahead.
As for Usyk, Gio, I don't know if you heard the news, but Tyson Fury came out with a statement today, calling Usyk an amateur. So again, I that's the kind of talk I don't want to hear. If I want to get excited over a rematch, I want somebody that says like, "Hey, that was a tough bloke. Gave me a good fight, good little man. I'm gonna come back and beat him, man." That kind of language will get me excited. But hey, Usyk is very few, man. He's the man.
He's the man. He's very undisputed, or was very undisputed. I don't know about now, but yeah, here it goes once again. If you're just tuning in, Brian Garcia, news broke out, I believe it was last week, suspended 1 year. Um, Tested positive for Osterin, I believe is the substance. He'll have to forfeit his 1.2 million guaranteed purse for that fight. $10,000 fine as well by the commission, and he's not 25-1. He's 24-1 now with that one no contest. Devin Haney still quote unquote undefeated. And also there was some interesting news in that whole fiasco too, because there we came here and spoke about the possible Devin Haney against Sandor Martin fight, that purse bid. Very, very low purse bid. Not surprised Devin Haney's stock goes down. Not that it was ever up there, but after that beating, stock went down. For that reason, he was saying he wanted to pursue further legal action against Ryan Garcia, saying that this is costing him money. This beating that he took to a cheater. He's saying, but I'm sure you heard he requested to be the champion of recess. WBC granted him that. And now it seems like Puello and Martin are going to fight for that title. They're saying Puello's being elevated. Another email champion, Chris. We love those email champions. But he's been elevated. And it seems like those two men are going to fight for it. And because Devin Haney can come back whenever he chooses to.